life. It comes and goes in many ways and forms. So that's why I spend my days in my bedroom, drawing alone, wasting my life. Anyways, howdy, ladies and gents. It is at 7100 back with another video for you guys today. I know, right? Oh my gosh, 7's actually posting now. Wow. Anyways, today we're going to be doing a fun little drawing where I give it personality. The drawing tells its own story. A drawing can tell its own anything, in fact. Like, if you have the power to draw, you can create anything you want. For crying out loud, you could do weird stuff if you want. Just go on DeviantArt and you'll find the weirdest things known to mankind. I should know. I've been on there once. That's a lie. But anyways, hope you guys actually enjoy this video. Yeah, let's get started. Let's get started on this penmanship.
And looky here, the sketchbook of the day. Isn't this gonna be fun? Cause I know I'm about to have a great time. I'm lying. For some reason, this drawing took me days to finish. Why? I don't know. It just did. But enough about the video. Let's talk about the drawing itself. You know, we got a man in a nice, lovely trench coat walking down the road of what looks like to be New York. You know, a lot can be happening right now in this one drawing, and you wouldn't even know it. Neither would I. But another way you can tell what's happening in the drawing is by facial expressions, which is why I gave this character a blank facial expression. So therefore, you, yourself, cannot tell what he's thinking of. You know what? I'm going to give this dude a briefcase. Why? Because I think briefcases are cool. And if you have a briefcase, I think you're pretty cool. Yippee! We finally finished the character. Now it's time to get with the background. Because the background is the next part. Because we're doing the whole background thing. Yeah! But what I do know is that there's a little box here that carries newspapers. So that should probably tell you what time period this is taking place. You know, little details like this really make a drawing come more to life. Or it could just make things look prettier. I don't know, you choose. Now it's time to make this drawing have a whole lot of life to it by adding more to the background. Not like there's already enough in the background, but that one little box. This is probably most likely going to be my most second detailed drawing I've ever done. But that's if I do a good job in coloring, which we'll see in a few minutes. I don't know how long this video will take, honestly. Hey editor, do you mind putting up the timestamp of how long this video is? No. This has nothing to do with the video, but I just want to say that he's walking past the flower shop because I feel like people are going to mistake the words for something else. So just letting you guys know. Now it's time for the most painful part, which is inking. Yay! Who doesn't love inking? Because I love it. Woo! Yes, inking. The slowest, most painful, most irritating, most stressful process, and also probably one of the most important process because, you know, it's like the whole thing itself. Outside of it hurting my hand a lot, you know, allows me to use my eye muscle quite a bit, so therefore, I guess some benefits come out of it, but I don't know, I think it's actually hurting my vision a lot more. I'm not an eye doctor, so I really can't say. Oh my gosh, I butchered that briefcase really bad. Oh, that looks painful. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, inking look kind of sucks. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know why. I just hated it so very much.
Now he looks evil. It looks like he's plotting something. Oh gosh, damn it! Why must I erase this part right here? Does it look normal? No, of course it doesn't. No matter how hard I try, it just looks worse. No surgery is gonna be able to fix that. What sucks is I was actually liking this drawing too. You know, plain and simple. That's all it was. Just plain and simple. Hey, look at it now. He looks evilous with murderous attempts. Gosh, where did it all go so wrong? Oh yeah, I know. I messed it up. That's where it went wrong.
Just say you suck at drawing, buddy. Oh wait, that's me.
Ooh, look at me doing the background now. Woohoo! You know what? The background isn't that bad. I'm actually very proud of it. Good job, me. I get 5 gold stars. Gold star, gold star, gold star. How many was that? I lost count. I don't care anymore. Ooh, look at the details in those bricks. Ooh, wow. Oh my gosh. That's enough to make someone actually cry for how beautiful these bricks look like. That's a lot of bricks. You know what? Out of all the drawings I have ever done with backgrounds, this one had the most going on, and yet it's very simple and very clean, and I liked it. And also that means it's time to color it. What? Now before anyone says, this says flowers, okay? Bishop, flowers, not wieners. I feel like someone's gonna say that, but it says flowers. I promise you, it says flowers, okay?
I'm gonna be honest. I've been editing this video for like, what, a week now and just barely got to the coloring part. I am slowly descending into madness.
Days of work, days have passed, and yet we have just made it to coloring. But you know, at least at the end of the day, the drawing doesn't look very gray and just says, hey, look at my gray trench coat. Psych, it's actually brown. Now you're built like a mouse. Oh!
I just called you a mouse. You probably live in my house.
Man, I just love coloring. It's just so satisfying. There's something about it that just, I just love. I don't know what it is though, but I just, Dude, I know this drawing is going to use so much of my browns because it's going to be a very, very brownish drawing. It's going to be a lot of browns, okay? That's the point I'm trying to get across. You know, I just realized I should have done the background first, then the character. So therefore I know what to do with the characters, shading, skin color, shading, stuff like that. You know what I mean? He says these things, but he never does them. You know what sucks about having a lack of fashion? Is having a lack of fashion. Now this is the part where I try putting my own eyes to the test to use shading to make the drawing pop out more, but yet I somehow messed it up. But every mistake comes a long way to making a person stronger, right? That's the saying that goes, right? Right? But outside of making a bunch of mistakes, how do we focus on the background now? Yippee! Like I said, so much brown's gonna be used in this drawing. I don't even think I have enough browns. You know, this is the part where I question myself on why I use a different color, but this kind of worked in the long run, so I don't mind it at all. Can't forget about the stairwells. No, like actually though, you really can't forget about these. I almost did, but I'm so glad I remembered it, or else this will be a double take by the end, and that would be very annoying to edit. I don't know why, but I really love working on this little box right here that's in the foreground. I seriously don't know. I just had an addiction working on this thing. I wonder what news were happening around September 11th in 2001. You know, something could have happened, something mind-blowing, but it was probably a peaceful day, you know. Alright, Passano, time to add some fun color to the top of this area. You know, we gotta add a little bit of red and a little bit of green to make it look beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
I wish I knew what I was saying, but I don't. Sadly.
Yay, it's about time to work on this flower shop of mine because this totally says flowers and nothing else! Now here's my question. What color would you use to make glass? Or at least color of glass? Because I chose this color for some reason. And I don't even know what it's called. But hence, never underestimate 7 because he always finds a way. No, like actually though, I found a way. I found a really good way to make this look more like glass.
Yeah, so I guess color theory really does help.
I am so proud on how this turned out. Like, oh my gosh! But oh snap, we're not done because I decided to add colors to the words, which actually doesn't look that bad. I'm actually really surprised for how well that came out. Damn, dude, my color eyes are, they're exceeding my own expectation, which is something. I know it's not perfect, but I say it looks perfect. Now, obviously, the drawing is looking a little flat, but like, who really needs shading, right? I had to shade the rest of the drawing, and it was a nightmare.
You know, as of recent times, shading has kind of become something I'm kind of groaning onto, but I still really hate it, and I'll probably never like it. But who knows? The future may say otherwise.
I think the only hard part about shading is just finding the right colors that will go well with the colors that's already on the paper. But the only good thing I like about shading, though, is that it doesn't make my drawing look very flat, and it actually gives it a little bit more personality, which is the whole point of the video. Clearly, if we're going to give one thing shading, I give the whole thing shading, or else the thing's just still going to look very flat.
But hey, what can I say? The drawing looked fantastic in the end, and that's all that matters. Anyways, here's the final product. It's beautiful. It's already up on my Instagram. Please go like that right now. Anyways, sorry this video took so long to make. I had a lot of things going on when making this video. But outside of that, thank you all for watching. This was a nightmare of a video. Anyways, this is 7100 tuning out. Peace.